Okay. Now we are live, and then we can start. So please, Beatriz, introduce yourself
Okay.
so we can learn more about you.
My name is Beatriz. I'm 35 years old. I lived here in São Paulo for 12 years, but I'm from Curitiba. I graduated in food engineering, and today I work at procurement area at a retail company. And my main goals here with practice English is to improve my conversation skills. And personally, I like to play sports and to watch to movies, go to the cinema, travel to places where I can get in contact with nature, like mountains and beaches. And I really love gardening.
Okay, thank you. So nice to learn a little bit more about you. So I am Lara. I am 23. I am here on TNT since February last year, but I am also a hostess here since October last year. I work with IT, but I am graduated in marketing. I live in São Paulo. I have two cats, Jorge and Rogerinho. I always say about them and the immersions, and they are always here because cats is what cats does. Like they is always passing by. I am also here to improve my English. I am a student here on TNT, and as is you, I love like traveling to places that I can be in touch with nature. I live in São Paulo all my life, so I love going to places that I can see more trees and more green spaces. So it's something that I like most. So I will read the first question. Question number 1: what are some of the values that are most important to you and why?
Well, I think the most important is to respect other people and respect yourself, because it will show the how you consider other people and how you consider your limits, and to be gentle or kind with yourself and with others. It's a main value, and it's a base for other values that can come uh, besides this. But I think this one is reference, is a point of beginning, I think.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I think that respect is really important as we live in society. But I would also say honesty. I think that honesty is a really important value for me. Like I care, even that if hurts me, if someone are going to say, I prefer that they are like honest and let me like evaluate if it is something that I would like to know or not. I think that for me, the most important value is honesty over all the things.
Totally agree. It's very, very important too.
Yeah, I think that is always like showing that the person considers you, so they are not lying to you, you know. So the question number 2, how have your personal values and beliefs changed over time? For me, like I remember that when I started doing therapy in 2020, I think I had like a list of values, but now I know that like I still have some values, but some others are changed like over the time. So for me, it's clear that they are going to change over the time, because I also think that is because of our goals. So as our goals are changing, our values are also changing, or as our values are changing, our goals are changing. I don't know what goes first. And for you?
Well, I've never done a list of values, and I didn't have this insight yet, but I feel that with the years they can change, and it's related to the phase, to the moment that we are living. As you said, the goals are very important and have a great impact on the values that we have. And I think that if we are beginning in our career, we have some interests and some objectives, And then 10 or 15 or 20 years later, we will have other way to see things and other way to evaluate things and the behavior of other people and our behavior also. So it depends totally on the moment that we are living.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. You say that you don't have like, you never did a list of values, but you have clear like what is important to you besides respect. Like, what are the other things that are important to you? The things that
Well,
are
to
personal
me,
values.
you said honesty, and it's very, very important to me also. Empathy with other people, and what else? Do what you love, and love what you do also, because we have to be grateful for what we have and for what we do every day and for what we achieved. So I think these are the main values, I think.
Yeah, I agree. It's important. I think that gratitude is also a value that is really important. We know that sometimes you're not living our best life, but it's important to like keep this. You don't need to have like a positive attitude all the time, but I think that you need to also try to look for things that you are grateful for. You know, I think that it
Yeah.
helps to also to keep you in the moment that you are. Question number 3. Have you ever made a decision that went against your personal values? How did you feel about it?
I don't remember a situation like this against your personal values. Oh, well, I can say something, yes. As I work at procurement area, which is the area related to negotiations and supplier management, contracts management. Sometimes we have some orders from our boss that aren't very aligned with what I would do in that moment. So sometimes I receive a orientation that is against what I would choose to do. Like if there is a supplier and we have a need to take the payment terms and have it extended, it's not good for the supplier, and it impacts in their financial situation, in their financial management. But sometimes I have this type of orientation, and it's not considering the impacts on the supplier situation, but only the benefit that we will have as a company with this movement and with this transition. It's to me, it's very hard because I have only to accept these and go ahead with these orientation, and it doesn't bring me happiness, and it's a little bit difficult. So I think it's something against my personal values, and some action that only consider my condition as a part of a company, and I wouldn't do that, but I have only to do what I asked for.
Yeah, I totally feel you. And thinking about what you say, I think that sometimes our professional lives, like in the work, we'll always do something that goes against our personal values, because like we know that we live in capitalism and all those things. So for a company, it's always about trying save themselves. So they are always going to do things to save themselves and to have more money or things like that. So you brought a really important point. Yeah. For me, I can think about some decisions that went against my personal values, but I think that they were also important so I could identify my personal values, because I think that a lot of regrets that we have about decisions that we made that is like related to ourselves, and when we don't feel good about it is something that we can, okay, so I didn't feel about it good about it, so maybe it's because I don't feel comfortable about making this decision, and this is also related to personal values. So I can remember like moments that I was not honest, was not like big lies, but I was not honest and I felt bad about it. I remember moments like that I something that is really important for me is my freedom. Like I love thinking that I am free and doing decisions by myself and doing what I want, and like not choosing to be in place that make me feel good. And I also remember moments in like my work life that I needed to keep in places that I didn't feel good being there, and because it was important, so I need to grow in the company or things like that. So I remember doing those decisions for that, but it was important to also to like highlight what is really important to me, you know.
Yes.
Yeah. Question number 4, it goes what we are saying. Do your personal values align with your professional values? And if not, how do you reconcile the differences? For me, I think that it kind of aligns, because now I think that I worked in companies that was really hard to separate those things, but then I was in a moment when the company that I am right now, that I was not thinking like I want to have money. I was also wanted to work in a company that would like highlight my personal values, and I would not like need to feel divided, about those two things. So I know that there has some moments that when you are dealing with someone in specifically, could be hard to keep your personal values and your professional values separated, but I always think that is important. For example, honesty for me is really important, to always be honest with the persons that I work with, and also to, I don't know, honesty is really important. I don't like lying. So, and also like trying to be more vulnerable. I think the vulnerability for me is an important personal value also. So trying to be more vulnerable, saying like, I don't know how to do it, I need help, or things like that. So I think that it kind of are aligned. Yeah. And what about you?
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I feel very connected with what you shared. And I think in my professional experiences, my previous experiences at work, I had some situations like the one that I told you, and I had now I think that I have less situations like this, and it's good. And it's a consequence of search that I did on the market, looking for a company more aligned to my values. And today I don't have many situations where I live this type of problem, and how to reconcile the differences. Well, it will depend on the situation mostly, because it will depend on our influence power in the company, and also in the situation, in the goals of the area or of the company. And I think that it's very important to respect our own limits. So
Yeah.
if there is a situation where we have a difference or a lack of alignment between our values and the company's values, maybe the decision, the best decision will be to go to the market and search again for other company, or even inside this company try to make a movement, changing the area where you are working on in. So I think there are some options or some alternatives that we have to face this type of situation. And if inside the company it's not working and you're not doing well because of lack of alignment between your values and the company, maybe the solution is to look for another company and another experience that fits well with your requirements, with your expectations.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I think that is important, and we have this option also to do this move, right? To try to find a company that is aligned to our values. And something that you said that I think that is really interesting is that, like, in a company we are not dealing also with our personal values. Like, if we need to do a to-do list, as the video were saying, we could do like a to-do list that is related to what we are going to do. But in a company, we are dealing also with the values of different persons and the values of the company. So it's always like what we are going to choose, you know. I think that is always this trade-off of which values is more important here now. Yeah. So the question number 5, what role do your personal beliefs play in your day-to-day life?
What importance
Yeah.
do they have in my routine?
Yeah.
Well, I think that they are the base for everything, and they are in each one of my uh, experiences and in everything that I choose to do. And I think they are always present, and uh, it will be the reference that I have when I'm doing everything, not only in my professional experience, but also inside my family, when I have to deal with a problem, when I have to help someone, or when I need help. So I'm always using my values and making choices, even if it's not conscious, even I'm not aware of, I'm already using all my personal values to make my decisions and to go ahead with what I will do, what I will prioritize, and everything.
Yeah, good point is I think that they play a really important role in your lives. But I want to do you a question, like how you identify, because personal beliefs is not always good, right? So how you identify when you have a personal belief that is not being good for you? How can you like identify that? How can you notice that?
A personal value that's not good for me.
Yeah, like a personal belief. Like, for example, you do something. I don't know. Sometimes self-talk. You know, we know that sometimes like we do something and we think like, oh, how don't you notice that? Or we start like saying something bad for us. We also have these like not just saying something bad, but we also have personal beliefs that sometimes that can be bad already that we relate to the world. Like, so we are seeing someone and then we think, no, this person is not doing something good and actually something normal, you know. So you are judging this person. So how do you notice how when your personal beliefs, the things that you believe, is not being good for you?
Okay. So I think that in this type of situation that you told, it's a little bit frequent. Uh, I usually have some judgment about people's behavior, and people's choices, and sometimes this judgment is necessary or is important, and then I see that, oh my gosh, why I'm doing that, and it's not important, or it doesn't have an impact, or a bad impact. So stop judging that person. And what else? I think that some personal beliefs that I have also help, not help me, but are aligned with some procrastination or some self-sabotage. I think that some personal beliefs that I have makes me a person less confident that I will be, and I don't know if it's right to say, but diminish my competences and my skills. So I sometimes I have some beliefs that they are not good for myself and for my development and for my self-esteem. So I think it's a lot of things that impact my whole life in this way.
Yeah, I feel you, because I also have like procrastination and self-sabotage. So I am always like trying to identify that. Sometimes I am doing something and I think that I am doing this because I don't want to do like other thing that is more important. So I always have this feeling that I am doing something like this. But I think that is important to identify. And as like, if I think that the way sometimes that we judge other persons is the way that we do the self-talk. So if we think that we are not like smart enough, we are always thinking like the other person needs to be smart. So we are always, because if you are thinking I am not smart enough, it means that for you the expectation is that you need to be smart, you need to do things. So you are going to have these expectations related to other persons too. So I think that sometimes when we try to be more gentle and compassionate with ourselves, we can also like be more gentle and compassionate with others. I think that is kind of I don't know the word for this, but it's like it's not unilateral. It goes both ways. So the way that you treat others is
Yes.
also the way that you're going to treat yourself. So I think is really, we also can find the personal beliefs in the way that we treat others. It's because sometimes we don't notice when with ourselves, like we are judging ourselves, we are doing something with ourselves, and we are not noticing that we are doing this because it's it's just ourselves. But when we do with others, we can notice better, I think.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. But answering the question, what role do your personal beliefs play in your day-to-day life? I think that they play an important role, but I always try to questionate it, because I think that sometimes I can have more negative personal beliefs than like good personal beliefs. So I'm trying to build that with myself. So whenever I do something that is, I think that is negative, I try to look at this and, oh, I don't want to repeat that. Let me try to work on this. Yeah.
It's very, very good and difficult to do.
Yeah, it is. It's not like, oh, okay, I will do that and tomorrow I will be better. It's a process. I say this to my therapist, like I am training myself to do the things that I believe, but I know that it will not be like I will open my eyes tomorrow and everything will be good. I need to always keep trying until like I will not need to try anymore.
Yes, yes, it's very hard.
Yeah. But okay, we will get there.
Yes.
Question number 6. Have you ever been in a situation where your values conflicted with those of a close friend or family member? How did you handle it for you? How was it?
Yes, well, I had a situation years ago with with mother, and we were talking about politics, and it's never a good
No.
topic.
Yeah, with
And
families, never.
mainly inside the family, it's not good. So we had an argue, me, my sister, and my mother. And my sister is a biologist, and she works at the academic environment. So it's not the easiest environment to work environment to um, to to work here in Brazil. And we were about to have Bolsonaro as the president, and my sister was very, very anxious and um, worried about her future as a professional, because she already knew that it wouldn't be job opportunities for academic professionals, and the education investment wouldn't be wouldn't increase. So she was super worried, and my mother didn't. But I think that she didn't get the point, and she didn't give importance for that fact and for that situation, and she didn't um, show empathy with my sister, and it generated a whole situation that was very, very bad. And we we had an argue, and she said some things that weren't very nice to hear. So I think that it was the worst situation that I had in my life. Today it's okay. We love each other, and that's very nice. But the situation was was very remarkable for me, because it was very intense, and I didn't expect from my mother this type of behavior or this type of words or treatment. It was very hard.
Yeah, I feel you. I think that whenever you're going to talk about politics with someone in your families, will always have these kind of things. But how did you deal now? Like we know that politics is something that is are in your lives every day. So when it's something that you want to discuss in your family, to talk about in your family, how do you do that to not like have the same fight? Because we also learn from that, right? We
Yeah,
have a fight
yeah,
with our
sure.
families, and then we think, okay, so in the next
Mhm.
time I need to have a better approach to not start those kind of things. So how do you do now?
Mhm. Yeah, okay. So with other people, I know that I can talk about politics and have a rich conversation and a good experience. But with our mother, we decided not to talk about it anymore because of her reaction regarding the topic. She is always ready for the conflict. So uh, uh, and we don't want this. So
Yeah.
we decided not to talk about it anymore, and just to preserve our relationship, and to maintain everything okay. But with other people inside or outside my family, I can talk about it with any problem. It's just a point that I had in this situation with my mother, and it's not going to happen again, because we're avoiding this subject from this moment.
Yeah. I think that is important also when you know that the person is not going to, because sometimes you are like open to listen the other person, but sometimes the person are
Yes.
not. So it's
Mhm.
important to avoid, to not get those kind of
Yes.
conflicts.
Yes, and I tried to hear her and to understand, but she's not prepared to that in the words that she chose to use, and uh, the way that she uh, expose her thoughts. So it's very delicate because it's a unnecessary issue that I will have. So as we tried to talk about it as normal people and without arguing and having problems, as we aren't capable to do that, we are just avoiding the subject.
Yeah, and it goes with your against your personal value. That is respect, right? So you made a decision based on your personal value that you want to keep that with your family. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have the same with my family. We always discuss it about politics. My mom, we have different opinions for everything. And I remember like it's not a lot, but some years ago we fighted a lot about it. Like it was something that is just a discussion, turn it into something big, and we did that a lot. So I don't know what happened, but now we can have those discussions without going to fight, or sometimes when we know that we disagree a lot with each other, we just stop talking. Like because we know that sometimes she are going to say something that I am not going to accept, and she are going to say something that is like and vice versa, you know. So we try,
Mm-hmm.
okay, we are not going came to any place from here, so let's keep the way that it is. We try to do that sometimes and it works. Yeah. But with
Yeah,
family,
yeah,
we know that it could be with our moms or aunties or like cousins. We always will have something like this. I don't know why, but it happens. It happens a lot.
yes.
Okay, so the question number 7, how do your personal values and beliefs influence your decision-making process? Nowadays, I think that I don't have this list of values, as I say, like I had a list of values in the past, but now I think that it changed, but I didn't take the time to have this list updated. So I think that I just try to do what is best for me, and what I think that is not make me feel bad, or like thinking about also my goals, so what I want for my life. So I think that they are not influencing a lot, but they influence kind of, because as our goals for me, my goals are also related to my personal values and the things that I want. I think that I take my decisions thinking my goals and the things that are important to me, without thinking, okay, so this is my list of values and I have this check, so I will make this decision. I don't do like this. Even that I think that it will be important, it will be good sometimes to have this, to have more certainty about the decision that I am doing, because I think that is really important. But yeah, they nowadays they don't influence a lot. It's not consciously, you know. Yeah.
Yes,
And for you?
yes. Well, for me, is just the same. I think that I don't have this list of personal values, but I feel that they are with me in all the choices that I make every day. And I think that even if it's a simple decision, like this weekend, I decided to stay home, and my went to their parents' home to get with them and all this stuff. I decided not to go because I have to study and I have to be prepared for the things that I'm facing. So this decision was an example of what I want to do. I want to be with my family,
Yeah.
but what I have to do, what's more important now, and what I can do, and what should I focus on in this moment. So it's it's always about our decisions and what we use as a reference to make these decisions. So I think that always the personal values are with us in everything we do, and they are a reference in our lives, I think.
Yeah, you did a great point, because I think that this decision, like we know that it's important to be with our parents, with our family, with our friends, but doing this decision of I will be here at my house today to study is something that is really hard to me to do. I am trying to do this nowadays, and I know that it's this, like it's our personal goal. So we need to understand that we can't go out every day or every weekend. We need to have a balance between those things. What are like be with our family is really important, but we also need to keep going to achieve our goals. So yeah, those decisions. I think that is really hard, because sometimes I just want to be with my mom and my sisters, but I know what I need to do also in my house. So
Yeah.
okay, so the question number 8, what are some of the potential consequences of not knowing or understanding your personal values and beliefs? For me, I think that is taking decisions that are more f- for it's related to personal values of other persons. So we see other persons doing something, and you will do that because someone did, and you thought like the outcome was great, but then you don't feel good about it, and you start asking, why am I not feeling good about it? I should feeling good. So I think that is doing decisions that are not important for you. And I had this moment in my life that I always like I saw someone having a goal, and then I thought, oh, I should have this goal for me. So it's important to make have this clear, to live the life the way that we want to live. And what do you think?
Yes, I totally agree with you. I think that other people's choices influence our choices also, and the society that where we live in also influences a lot in our choices and what we think is important. And it's not always the right way to go regarding our values. Sometimes we are only losing focus on what we really do or what we really prefer because of an environment that sells something that offers something like more like it would be more interesting or better for you, but it's not aligned with your values, your goals, your preferences. So as an example, everyone that I graduated with is going to global positions and working outside the country. So it's very good. It's an example of success in their career. So I want to do that also. But you don't have to deserve that, and it's not there's not a guarantee that it will work
Yeah.
for you and it will be a success for you, because if there is everything okay with you in this moment, or even to choose to um, go ahead in a management role or being a director and everything like that. Oh, but I some people just want to be analysts or specialists, and it's okay. It's more
Yeah.
aligned to their objectives and the way they want to face the world, they want to work on these type of things. So there's not an only one path that is the best one. No, there is plenty of paths that can be chosen, and each one is more it's better for each person. So it's very hard to feel that and to see that in the moment that you're living the situation, because sometimes we get influenced by some people or by the environment that we are in, and we do some choices or prefer some things that aren't aligned with what we really want, what we really would like to.
Yeah, good catch. It's an amazing point. As you said, we have plenty pets and they all will be different. If you choose something and the other person choose the same things, they will be different because are different persons. And something that I also think as an example, for example, we have a lot of people living abroad. It's not a lot, but we see a lot of people living abroad now, working abroad, even if, mainly in IT area. I saw this a lot. And sometimes we think that is the right path. So we always it's kind of having a promotion in our job. So we are going to live abroad. It's kind of, it needs to be the dream of everyone. And sometimes if you do a decision, if it is more related to other person's goals, you will go through something that is sometimes is bad, but the other person will handle better because this is aligned to their personal values. So they will think, okay, this is a bad moment, but I am here because I want to thrive through my goals, and they will be able to pass through it. So, but if you are not sure of the decision that you are making, you are going to do something bad, and you are start thinking like, why I am doing this with my life? I need to go back. So yeah, it's really important to.
I totally agree. Perfect.
It's really important to have this clear. Yeah. So we can go to the question number 9. Is about job or relationships. So I think that we can answer just about relationships because we already answered about jobs. So have you ever had to compromise your personal values or beliefs for the sake of a relationship, and how did you handle it? And I want to add something more. Do you think that in a relationship between a couple, or I don't know, any kind of relationship that you want to say about, we have a trade-off of values. So if we have different values, we can keep all values in the relationship, or we need to choose a specific value sometimes.
I don't remember any situation related to that. Some situation where I had to avoid some personal value to handle a situation, or to change something in my values to handle a situation. I'm not sure if I understood.
Yeah, if you go, like, if you went against your personal values in a relationship or something like this, and how did you handle it?
Well, I don't remember now any situation where I went in a different way of my personal values.
Well, I had some situations, and I think that we had different values, and this is why it was not working for me. I think that sometimes when something goes against my personal values, it's not something that is bad, like it's not, oh, this is the worst moment in my life. But for example, for me, having freedom and have my, I don't know, autonomy is really important. And I remember for this person, it was really important to be coupled all the time and together all the time. And I just want time for myself. So I think our personal values was not like talking with each other. So I think that is a moment when it was against my personal values. Yeah. And I think that in those moments, for example, in relationships, there has relationships that we can values that we can align and, you know, to have everything in a relationship. But I think, I don't know. Now I am thinking, I don't know if it is possible to be in a relationship that it goes some ways against your values and you need to do a trade-off of values. I think that is not possible. Because sometimes, for example, over some years of relationships, people break up because they want things different than they wanted in their start. So I think that, yeah, it's not
Yes, yes,
possible.
yes. I totally agree with you.
Okay. So I think we can answer the question number 10. So how do your personal values and beliefs impact your relationships with others, including family, friends, and coworkers?
Well, I think the impact is in everything all
Yeah.
the time, because they are there all the time, and all the choices that we make and all the situations that we live, we are always considering, aware or not, we are always considering our personal values in all the situations that we live. I think it's it.
Yeah, I
It's
agree with
simple
you.
like that.
Yeah, it's really it is what it is. I also think that is possible when you have relations with people that doesn't have the same personal values. But I think the most
Mm,
important part is that you know what is important for you, so you will not be influenced by other people's behaviors. But you have relationships with coworkers, family, friends, or anything that persons will have different values, and we need to deal with that. Yeah.
yeah.
So I think that is we go through all the questions. I am going to send you on the chat the survey. It's anonymous, but it will not be anonymous since you are the
Okay.
only person in this meeting. But please feel free to have any
That's
suggestion.
okay.
If you want to suggest some topic, feel free. I will always be here at 8 a.m. on Mondays. I also host the meetings of Friday, that is immersions for women. So we don't go live on YouTube, it's just women, and we talk a lot about a lot of things. Okay, so
Perfect.
okay, so thank you a lot, Beatriz. It was really nice to talk with you. Hope to see you soon.
Thank you so much, Lara. Thank you for the session. Have a nice week.
You too. Have a
See you
good day and a
soon.
good